Good morning. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks, and you?
Good, thank you. From a very rainy, cold Hermanus.
Yeah, it's quite chilly this side as well, so at least
I
it's
can
not wet. I
see.
can't do cold and wet, but it's
Yeah,
cold.
no, it's wet. It's very wet here, very damp. It's kind of very blood and salt kind of weather,
Perfect.
which is insane.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness me. I can't believe we're doing a live about it. I mean,
Yeah, the time is finally here, hey?
honestly, insane. But I
Yeah.
mean, so the reason why we're doing another live is because basically it didn't record. Good morning.
Yes, so
Hey.
we had an awesome book launch for Blood and Salt last night, and we were hoping to be able to share it on socials and YouTube and all that, and then it didn't record. Very sadly. So now poor Angela has to suffer through it sort of again.
I'm loving it.
Because I really love actually, speaking about myself
So much. So much.
so much. So, I mean, uh, it's been a journey.
It has, but it's been a beautiful journey. Ups and downs, but look where everything has landed, and it's just your magical in so many ways.
Yeah, and I think
Unbelievable.
what's so amazing is that obviously Lee and I love the book in
Mm,
part because we love you, but you've gotten so much amazing feedback from other people, some of them who've never met you, and it just goes to show that it really is an incredible book. Like it's beautiful, it's deep, it's rich, it's
very
heartbreaking,
immersive.
and
So immersive. Oh,
yes. And we're not the only
And
ones who
that's the
think
thing,
so. So
right? But that's the thing, isn't it? No matter who you are, as an author, when you put yourself out there, you always have this thing within that's like, it's not good enough. And even
mm,
though I know you ladies would never tell me it's good if it's not, but you
yeah.
still always have that subconscious thing thinking, well, they're my friends, so they're going to say it's good. Do you know what I'm saying?
Of
yeah,
course, yes.
Um, so then when you start seeing other people who have no clue who you are giving the same type of feedback, I have been crying for 2 days, let me tell you.
that's okay.
It's been a insane kind of whirlwind.
Yeah.
It's come around so quickly, and at one stage, as you know, I was pulling my hair out with the beast of a book doing the editing, and I was
Mm.
wanting to
Yeah.
throw it against the wall and everything else. And here we are, it's launched, and it was all worth it.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
That, definitely worth it. And I'm so excited for everybody else to read the story as well because yes,
Mm.
it's a dark fantasy, but there's so much depth to it and it makes you like become introspective and deal with your own emotions and yeah, your own traumas and stuff like that as well. And it's so beautifully woven into the story that you don't realize that this is what's happening, but it's
Mm.
happening.
Oh no,
And
it's
that's really
happening.
amazing.
So much so that you realize, oh, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, but just one more chapter. Just one more. I need to know.
Yeah.
No, oof, especially messaging and the fact that I know the author, well, both of you authors, and that I can just be like, what did you mean here? Why did this happen? Why did you do this to me? But why did you write it like that? It has been awesome altogether, and especially with the ARC team. Wow, what a team!
Mm,
What a team!
definitely.
Like,
Unbelievably so.
yo, like hands down, one of the best ARC teams I've seen, I've experienced, and just the stuff that they come up with, especially the memes.
Yeah.
The most popular one was definitely the emotional damage roller coaster. Definitely roller coaster. Definitely. Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, they've
honestly,
been
when I saw
fantastic.
that, when I sort of saw all of the work that was coming out from them, I was in awe. I'm like, you know, you guys have gone above and beyond, and it's people like yourselves and like the ARC team that just push a book even more so that it gets out to everybody. And I don't think the readers understand the level of a team when it comes to this, how much that they bring to an author, because an author is just the writer. You know, we write the books, we come out to the crazy ideas, but it takes a whole team to make it that type of book, to make it that type of flow, if you like.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Like
And if
Leonie.
without that, it doesn't work. You know,
Yeah.
from both of you being part of it, Leonie being like one of the first to actually read it, who is like my main alpha reader. And then, you know, having Tareen giving her
Sure.
creative license to actually create, even though I give her what I want for the character wise, what I'm like a brief outline, I want her to have her creative stand on it because she's the creative in this, you know, and I want her best work. So I'm going to make sure that she does herself justice. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, definitely. And last night, what she said in the OG interview, she even said the way that you describe each character, how descriptive you are, it made it a joy for her and actually quite easy. Here and there, she needed to ask you a few things, obviously to make sure that you're happy with stuff. But just like what I said in my review, it's an easy read, not in a bad way, in a way that it wants to keep you going. And it just manifests you need to keep on going. So yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I've had a few
definitely.
people
And
like go,
yeah, no, carry on.
no, please, please,
No, no,
please
I
go.
was just saying that I don't even remember what I wanted to say. So go for it.
I mean, it's you know, and I'm glad. Like last night, we did obviously the original book launch, and I was the guinea pig for it. And yes, it
Yeah.
didn't record and it didn't do what we thought it would do, but I'm glad it was me and no one else.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
But even
think the
so,
people, yeah.
yeah, even so, that it was an amazing event, and I think it was such a
Mm,
nice celebration of all of this coming together. Because I feel so often, you know, as an author, an indie author especially, you release a book into the world, and it's this anticlimactic event where you basically hit publish on the online realm,
yeah.
and then you're just like, okay, it's out there. So
What
to being
now?
able to celebrate it
That's
is
kind of
actually so cool.
that's exactly what I did with my first books. I just went, okay, it's done, it's out there,
Mm,
and that
Yeah.
was it. But for some reason, this dark fantasy hit even
it was
harder, and I
different.
think it's because my other works is more life, in a sense,
Yes.
and a lot of trauma, where this is more I could have fun with it. I
Yeah.
could really just let the floodgates of imagination come out and just enjoy whatever I wanted to write. I think that's the beauty of it, what you can do.
So I'm going to ask a question because I wanted to know the way that you're explaining this now and stuff. Which character surprised you the most while writing? Like, who quietly took over more than you expected? Besides, I know my favorite character, but yes,
Um, so it's a mix of two
okay.
for different reasons. So obviously, Iridora, like, yeah, she's got her own whole ecosystem around her, put it that way.
Mm,
There's a whole thing
Yeah.
that's with her. But then there's also Tavish.
Oh.
Mm. I
Oh,
remember
okay.
He's got
meeting
a lot of
Tavish.
layers.
Yeah, I remember meeting Tavish at the beginning of the book, and I was like, I hate this guy. I even sent Angela a message, and I'm like, he needs to die, like now. And then
No.
Angela was like, no, just wait. And by the end of the book, I was like, I actually kind of feel sorry for this this
Yeah,
poor
this poor
creature.
guy.
Can you give him a
Yeah,
break?
shame. Can he have a breath? Like, poor dude.
He's got a lot
Yeah,
of layers. A
Yes.
lot of layers. There's a lot of
yeah,
depth that has made him how he is. And
yeah,
you only get a hint of that in this book. You don't get the
yeah.
whole world for him.
Yes, I definitely picked up on that.
I know.
So I'm looking forward to seeing
You,
what happens with him in book 2.
but I noticed that with your writing and in parts, you don't say everything, and I'm like, okay, this is probably going to be in another chapter. Let's keep on reading. Nothing. Is this going to be in book 2 now? Like, where is it?
It's like little breadcrumbs just being kind of like there. And then like maybe if there's another book and all of a sudden then you're like, that's where that goes to.
Little puzzle pieces, little egg.
Yeah.
What do they call it?
Because you have these side characters that deserve to have more from them, but they're just not ready for the first book. Put it that way.
They have to be developed.
Yeah, and that's the joy of writing a series, because you can just add all of that depth to the people that need it, you know.
Yes.
So you had another question, Lee?
I did. I do.
No, you
I have
said
many.
I did.
I do. I have many. What pulled you towards Celtic folklore and the darker mythology of it all?
So, I've always been fascinated with the Celtic old school lives and history and mythology, and all of that goes with it. Obviously, I come from a Scottish heritage as well. So even though that wasn't a main thing within my family, because like they left when they were like in their 20s, they ran from Glasgow. They wanted to travel the world, and that's what they did. So it's quite a full circle, to be fair, because now my family are back living in Scotland. It's bizarre, and I'm back in South Africa, so it's like insane. But I've always been drawn into that fantasy lifestyle, especially because in the Scottish tradition, their animal is a unicorn on the flag. So that says to me wonder, magic. You know, anything can happen in that space. You know, and then you've got the Scottish Highlands that are full of this magic. If you've never been there, like just by looking at the pictures, you're like, oh my God, it's so stunning. And you've got the fairy pools, and you've got the Old Man of Storr, which is a huge mountain range. There's so much, and it's so much history and magic that goes along with it. And I remember going to my aunt, who lived in Inverness, and we went to the ferry bridge when I was young, and I remember this to this day.
You went to the ferry
It was an
bridge?
old, yeah. Well, there's one in Inverness. It's like the ferry pools there, around that area, and it was like this old, like a bridge that kind of like sways a bit.
Yeah.
And whether or not they were telling me the truth, or they were just telling me this because I was a kid, but this was kind of supposed to be known for like the fairy type of space, and it stuck.
Oh my goodness. Yes. No, the reason why it clicked for me is because family traveled there. My dad was there, and he told me about the ferry bridge and stuff, and he said, you'll love this, Leanne. So thank you for that little reminder. That is so cool.
Yeah.
You were there.
It's beautiful. Yeah, it's stunning. You know, my sister went to boarding school in the Isle of Skye as well. So, you know, we've always had a connection, you know, no matter what there. So, Yeah. I just love the difference in the mythology
Yes.
within
Yes.
Celtic,
Yeah.
because obviously dark fantasy kind of has become a bit run of the mill, which is okay. Don't get me wrong. You've got your dark fantasy characters, the normal ones, the vampires, the werewolves, the unicorns, and all of these things. But then people forget about the Selkies, the Kelpies, and
Mm.
things like that, which have got a huge backstory to them. And I
No,
just wanted
that's
to
definitely
make a different thing.
that's one of the things I found most refreshing about the book is just that it came from a different
Whole different
school of
angle.
magic. So it was so refreshing reading something that's like so unique and different from what is generally available out there. And it's really cool that it's a nod back to your childhood, actually being able to trace it
And
back
it's a South
to,
African author. What?
I know.
A
Indeed.
South African author that did this. Like, what?
I mean, your imagination is what takes you to these stories, and it's about
Mm.
letting the characters just develop, you know what I'm saying, and
Mm.
actually making them human in a way, but also predatory also. You
Mm.
love them and hate them.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah,
I
I think
love
that's,
Tavish, but hate him at the same time for what he's done.
but I heard another major fantasy author once time also say, like, if you want to make your villains really believable, you need to make your readers love them as well, so that you can love them and hate them at the same time. And that's the key to making your villains believable. So that definitely worked. We'll
I
see
mean,
how
I've
we
had
love
arguments with
the
them.
Unseelie King, though.
I've had arguments with these characters, let me tell you, like seriously, really. I've had
Yeah, I can
so many
imagine.
arguments with them, which way it's going to go. And if people have ever watched or seen me down where I live on the coast, if they've seen me walking and I'm muttering myself and I've got the playlist playing and I'm muttering, and if they saw me, they must probably think that woman is crazy.
That's fine.
Stay the
Let
hell
them.
away. Exactly.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
I- Moira is my favorite, of course, but how
Mm-hmm.
long did she stay with you? Because she goes through grief. She goes through identity. She goes through responsibility that she didn't ask for. So how long, if I may ask, did that character take to build?
She's still being built.
Oh, okay. Obviously book two, but like with book one now
Um,
especially, like where did it all begin with her specifically?
so
Ooh, I
Moira
got.
was a version of many,
Mhm.
many things, as well
Okay.
as versions of myself. So,
Okay.
you know, chronic illness, not expecting to get that.
Mm.
Inherited um, illnesses,
Mm.
and just lots of trauma as well put into her, but also then understanding what it's like to grieve for oneself, to grieve for
Mm.
a parent when they die young. I've been through it. So there's all
Mm.
these parts of me that are in there, but also from putting myself in there, I also put in other versions of her that maybe I could have been when I was at her age.
Wow.
Does
You
that make
see,
sense?
layers, layers. It's a dark fantasy, but it makes you sit with yourself afterwards and be like, that was not, that was something else I read now. That was a therapy coming through there or something. This is,
That's kind of the
I
theme
thought I
through all
was
my
going to be in a
books,
different,
right?
yes, but that's what's so beautiful about it from your first book, which is 50 Years Brave, to this. It's completely different.
But it has to be, because
1000%.
they're completely
Yeah.
different genre styles for a
Oh,
start.
yeah. Mm.
With 50 Years Brave, I had to be very controlled in what I said and wrote.
Mm.
So I didn't have the freedom to explore.
Mm.
I had to be very aware of things that I was saying and how I was saying them to not bring other trauma to other people. So very controlled. So having Blood and Salt was like, yahoo! I can do what I want
Let
and
loose.
have fun.
Let loose.
Traumatize us all.
Yeah, I never thought of it like that.
No, in the best kind of way. It's the trauma I asked for.
Yes.
It's the,
Yes.
yes, it's. I need that. I need to sometimes. People just cover up a wound and keep on going, and then a book comes along. Even with Michelle's book, as I just finished it, and it makes you sit with yourself and go like, okay, but
Yeah.
what does that part mean? What does the author try and make me understand here? And that's always fun for me to figure out what were they doing. But hey, I know the author, I can ask now. So yeah, I really appreciated that, the different layers of everyone and how you went into each character, even the side characters. We all said it last night. Who is the one who threw the tea, the cup of tea?
Eudora.
Eudora.
Thank you. Exactly, her. She's just everything.
Oh, she's my favorite.
She is a, if you know, you know, she is one of those typical old-fashioned wild women. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, doesn't care what she says, very opinionated, very hard on the surface, but deep down she's basically me when I'm like going to be 70. She's me in like 19 years. So expect the tea.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, so we'll just keep chatting over video call. That's fine. To avoid the
No
tea.
comment. No comment.
You know, but at the base of her, she is about protection, love, and understanding. But she's not going to pussyfoot around you. You know, she's going to say that as it is. If you need tough love, she'll give it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's the other thing, the love aspect, because I think some people will think, oh, it's romance. No, there's so many different layers of love. There's friendship love. There's loss love. Everything love in this book as well. It makes you look at the different aspects of love. I was very surprised by that too.
Yeah, that is one of the things I appreciated as well.
I'm all about friendships and sisterhoods and understanding each other's dynamics. And I just wanted to hit on that no matter who you are, what your friendship's like, your sexuality, your color, your race, whatever, it comes down to being a good person and actually accepting the sisterhood, the friendship, you know, for who they are, not for what they can give or what they look like or their space in their life. It's about accepting them as they are.
Yeah.
Definitely. And also
This is
I
like
appreciated
therapy
in the book
section.
how yeah, just the emphasis that it had on building strong friendships because yes, there is romance in the book. But if you think
Which
about
is
your life as a
bizarre.
whole, because you didn't intend it, right?
I mean, it was not intended at all. I'm not a, you know
No.
me. I'm
Yeah.
So it was not intended at all.
Yes. But our lives are not just romance, and the relationships we have with other people besides our partners are such a big part of us,
Oh,
and it's
massive.
actually
Yes.
so neglected in stories in general today. And it's important to highlight those things and to help people realize that we're built to be in community with people. We need people around us, not just one person, but a well-rounded
Yeah.
group of people
Yeah.
around us for us to thrive.
Exactly. You have your partner, you have your lover, you have your whatever, but that's a different kind of relationship where, for example, you'll see now in the comments, it's one of my longest friends. I'm Ivory, she's Ebony, but we are very different, but we still connect with each other. We still see each other because of making that bond. And that also is what Blood and Salt does. It shows you those bonds. It shows you the love that you form with other people through good, the bad, the everything. It's beautifully, beautifully written.
Yes.
I think I wanted to make a major part of it about that because in life, women are kind of played off of each other. And I wanted to show that friendships usually last longer than some marriages or some relationships. And
Yes.
it doesn't mean you have to be in each other's pockets. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, my best friend, I might speak to her once or twice a year because we live completely different countries, different hectic lives. But when we do get together and chat, it's like it was yesterday. So,
That's how it's supposed to be.
yeah, exactly. You
So,
guys
are
been
you
nice and easy on me this morning compared.
Yeah, compared to last night, I think it was the whole nerves. It was just getting prepared for it. It was Monday. It was the 1st of June. It was just everything.
A lot.
Saying goodbye to my May, saying hello to June, and all of that kind of stuff. But before I leave, because I need to get going.
Yes, you need to get to go to work.
Yes, I need to get into another meeting. But last night, and getting all the love and all of the reviews and everything, what was the first thought in your mind of receiving all of that? Not in a bad way, the attention, let's say the recognition that, wow, I've accomplished this now.
I was pretty proud, to be fair. And my inner child was deliriously happy because I was that child that struggled to read, that struggled in school, and it was missed. So the fact that I can say this at 51 years old and come full circle moment back to that child, that is a good thing.
That
Brilliant.
is awesome.
So deserved.
It also gives other people who also think they can't write because of the way they maybe got dyslexia or this or that or what you have gone through. You're encouraging other people, no, you can still do it. You can still make it happen.
There's different ways. I started writing from a space of chronic illness, bedbound, in a lot of pain, could hardly move, and that's how I started writing over a decade ago. And I used an app called Otter, and I spoke into it, and it then turned those words into text for me because I physically didn't have the strength in my hands to be able to sit and write or stuff. So there are ways and there are means to get all of that noise out of here. It doesn't mean you have to publish. It took me over a decade to publish. It took me over a decade for anyone to know I was actually writing anything. So
I
don't
can't
be
believe
like
you
me.
kept that a secret from Detective Dan.
I
10
know.
years, that's long. How did you do that with him, though? Anyways, ladies, I need to get going. Thank you for this.
Thank you for
Yes,
coming.
thank you for joining.
Speak to you later.
Chat
See you
soon.
later.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Hello.
Right.
Oh,
So I'm trying to reduce the amount of noise around me because I was kicked out of the office this morning.
oh, were you?
So I'm sitting in the living room. Sorry, very quickly, because I'm on a live stream now. Okay, so what I wanted to actually ask you, what I was quite curious about, is because Blood and Salt starts on an absolutely gut-wrenching, epic first scene.
Yeah.
Right, and then it leaves you sort of in the lurch, and then you like go back in time a little bit. But was that the first scene that you wrote for the book? Or
It was, actually. I had multiple versions of it.
okay.
And then I was like, if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to do the dark fantasy, I'm going to go in hot. I'm going to grab the attention. I'm going to throw it out the window. And I think I wrote like 5 different versions of it.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the final version was, I was like, okay, because originally I was going to start with the part where you go back in time a bit. And
Mm.
then I thought, no, I need to just open up hard.
No, and it hits hard. It really does grab your attention. So that was quite well done.
It does hit
But I
hard.
also know it's really hard. Um, I know from personal conversations with you that you often find a lot of inspirations in your dreams. Was this something
Yes.
that you dreamt?
So originally I wrote a version of Blood and Salt, but it wasn't dark fantasy. And I wrote this from inspiration from the Kelpies that are in Scotland. So they're these giant statues called the Kelpies. And it's always stuck with me. And then I started
Yeah.
writing about Kelpies. And then I'm like, okay, this has got traction. I want to make it a dark fantasy. And it worked better, actually.
You hear me all right?
I can hear you. Can you hear
Because I
me?
can't hear you at all. And you're coming.
All right.
Sorry, Angie.
No worries.
Okay, you're back with me now.
Am I back?
Hopefully we stay there. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Now, what did
He's
you
wanting to
miss?
show his friend the speaker. Um,
Oh,
oh gosh, where were we? Now I've lost my train of thought.
you asked me about the
Maybe,
inspiration with my
yeah,
dreams. Did you hear anything
yes,
that I
yes.
said after that?
I know you're talking about the massive Kelpie statues
Yeah.
in Scotland.
So
I think that's where I
the
lost you.
Kelpies, basically, they always stood in my mind from that point. Wrote the fantasy kind of around the Kelpies. But then when I started getting into this dark side of it, I was like, okay, because Kelpies have got this beautiful side, but they've also got this very dark side to them.
Yes.
And it just turned into this dark fantasy, and my dreams just kept on playing. Because I'm very
Oh, that's
visual.
brilliant. Yes.
You know, I could be walking around the coastline and I can see things jumping out. It's pretty insane. And people might think that's crazy, but I think that's a lot of authors. So,
Yes, I think you kind of have to be a very visual person to put it down on a page,
yeah,
to put it into words.
indeed.
And I don't know if you can answer my next question without giving away spoilers, but maybe you can try and do it vaguely. But I'm curious to know what scene in the book is your favorite scene
Mm,
or surprised you the most once it was actually written down.
Sam's compassion for Tavish. Yeah,
Yeah.
because, and obviously I write Sam as a non-binary person. And that wasn't premeditated or preempted. It just flowed into her as just
Yes.
being non-binary. But her compassion and her understanding for so many things that are happening and not being freaked out of a lot of stuff was kind of an eye-opener. Considering she does art,
Yes.
that can be,
She's
we can
clearly a
be a bit
very visual
anxious and a
person.
bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's definitely her compassion, I think, was like a big thing that stood out for me.
Yeah, that was definitely, and I think because of her compassion for him in that scene, it also was the major turning point for me, the way I felt about Tavish as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is quite a surprising turnout, I must say.
It's quite subtle. I
Yes, no,
think
it
it's quite a
is.
subtle scene, but it's with that subtleness, it's very powerful. And that can change people's perceptions on things because it's not forced in your face.
Exactly. And I think that's a major power of the book. And I said this last night as well, and probably earlier, but um, you're confronting all of these different emotions and issues and things, but it's not in your face. Like it's not it doesn't feel like a self-help book, if I can put it that way. It's woven so beautifully into the story that it just flows naturally. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's quite very well done. So
It's
well done.
it's an unusual, I think it's a different type of dark fantasy because
Mm,
yes, it's dark, but then it breathes and lets you kind of recover. It's got
yes,
some funny moments, some sarcasm running throughout the whole book,
yes,
because I'm quite sarcastic naturally. And I live with a Londoner, and he's extremely sarcastic, as you know. So it's
yes,
naturally going to flow into my work of books.
yes. No, and it works
um,
well.
yeah, I mean, at one point when I was writing the book, I was like, this is too big. It might have to be like put in two pieces, but it wouldn't have
Mm,
flowed. And I asked for, people's opinion on that, and they're like, no, it'll break up the story too much. So
mm.
even though it was big, it's a chunky. I think
But
it
it
flows
doesn't
quite well.
read that way. It does. It flows
Mm,
really well. This it's big, but it's not. There's none of it that's boring. So you're always like on the edge of your seat, wanting to know what happens next. And so it reads fairly quickly from that point of view. And I
yeah.
said so in my review that I posted yesterday as well, is that it is an easy read, but not because the language is necessarily easy, because you get
Mm,
like lower reading difficulty books, but it's
yes,
not
yes,
because of
yes.
that. But it's because of the way that it flows and the way that it keeps your attention the whole time. And that's
I
quite awesome.
think what I find, like when I'm reading myself, I read a lot of old school fantasies and sci-fis and stuff, and there's always the world building and there's a lot of drama and stuff, but there's sometimes, so that's how I write. But then now more modern way of writing is very
Mm,
bam bam bam, very quick off the mark and very quick hitting and very intentional. But I find sometimes there's no pause or breath or
mm,
time to kind of just feel what's happening within it.
yes,
Um, so, and because of what I was writing, with all the different dynamics with it, I wanted to be able to just bring what I would want as a reader to be able to have those moments, especially how it opens. It's
yes.
a lot. It's a lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot. And yeah, I think, but it's brilliant. I really do think it's brilliant.
Thank
I
you.
think you've done a fantastic job with it. I I was quite surprised because you often find an author who writes well in one genre, and when they try and swap to another genre, it doesn't work as well. But having first read your first two books, which are women's fiction, I was so surprised to see you swap so effortlessly to fantasy and write so well in the genre. And you can see that within your writing is something that you so enjoy doing. Like you say, it's got those heavy moments and those tense moments, but there's also that the more light-hearted scenes woven in between where you can see you
Mm.
really had fun with this. And
I
yeah, I'm just
mean, I
really proud
must
of you
say
for doing
that,
it.
thank you. The first two women's fiction were a trauma healing space.
Yes.
So
Yes.
they were, whether people read them or not, didn't concern me
Yeah.
in that sense. It was a way to heal and get stuff out.
Yes.
But with this is a difference. This is, I find, is the love that I love writing, if that makes
Yes.
sense. It's
Yeah.
kind of that freedom to just turn life on its head and do
Yes.
whatever you want with it.
Yeah. Play God a little bit if you would.
Yeah, exactly. But also still weave through those times of, you know, seriousness or politics or whatever needs to kind of maybe be spoken about that isn't being spoken about as much, but doing it subtly and not, well, you will X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
It's what you take
Yeah.
from it is down to you because everyone's had different takes when they've read this
Mm,
book. And that's what I
yeah.
love, is different stands within it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That-
makes
No,
me
that's amazing.
smile.
Well, you should be smiling all the way. I've seen some of the reviews and they are all shining
Unbelievable.
recommendations. Yeah,
If
it's so well
I
deserved.
if somebody had told me this, I would have been like, "Oh, you're lying," and I would have bet money against them. Seriously, I would have bet money against them, because I don't know. I didn't expect what I've received. Put it that way. Never in a million
Mm.
years. I couldn't have imagined that. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
very
think we all,
thankful, and I'm very proud of everyone who helped me get this to the table.
mm,
Because without them, my words would most probably still be sitting on a computer, including,
exactly.
where you've gone and done all of my character art within the chapters and helped me with the formatting. And you've just been a godsend, honestly. You're the sisterhood that people should have.
Yeah, and I think, but that's the beauty of the partnership that we've made with Saya, because I can absolutely say the same for you as well. Like just there's so much more joy in the craft of writing when you're doing it together. And that's not just necessarily the stuff we write together, like the same
Mm,
project, but even like our own projects, being able to have that
yeah,
support is really important. And it's like you say, this people don't understand the amount of people that it takes to get a book out there and to get it polished to its full potential. And yeah, I think the team that came together for you with this has been phenomenal.
unbelievable.
They've just
Yeah,
rallied. They've rallied, some of them at the last moment, but nonetheless made a huge difference
because
in what Blood and Salt is.
it's unbelievably overwhelming at the support, and
Mm.
that is something I'll cherish for the rest of my life, because that's very hard to come by. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
to get the support of not just one, not just two, but like a whole bunch of people, and who actually give a damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
It's not
it.
about
That's a huge
money.
thing. No.
Yeah. It's
So,
about the passion.
I will be paying it forward like I do all the time and trying to
Mm.
help as many as I can, just like you. That's why we created Sire, and why we created
Mm.
the Local Book Hive, because that's what we're about.
Yeah.
And it's a lonely road when you are an author, a writer,
Yeah.
a creative. It is lonely.
Yeah. And it's difficult. It's difficult.
Just a bit.
But
Just a bit. But yes, I mean, the amount of change that has happened in both of our lives, not just about
Mm.
this book, but since we've met each other, has been unbelievable. You know,
Yeah.
I think if someone had written a magical journal and said, "This is going to happen to you guys in 2025, end of 2025," you'd be like, whatever. You
Nah.
know, unbelievable, and people like Lee and Zari and all the guys that make our lives feel so much better. And it's such a great sisterhood.
It is. It is. And it happens
Mm.
so naturally as well, which is amazing. Just
That's the
needed to
beauty of it,
say.
right? It wasn't
Yeah.
forced.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, going forward, let's, with regards to book launches, because obviously
Yes.
I was the experiment last night, and thank God it
Yes.
was, because look what happened. And this is why we're doing this today. But do you want to explain about how it's going to work for the Hive?
Yes.
And
Yeah,
go for it.
so we're really hoping to be able to do these celebration book launches for all of our Hive authors who are releasing new books. Because, like I said at the big start, for an indie author, it's, first of all, it's often so anticlimactic to release your book, and it's actually this massive achievement that deserves to be celebrated. But the other side of that is that, in-person launches is that it's often difficult for readers to get to. It's very restricted in terms of geography. It costs a lot of money to do, and that really stops a lot of people from doing it. And by doing an online book launch, we can overcome many of those hurdles and still celebrate the new books being born just as well. So this is something that's going to be happening quite often, and next time we will make sure to record it so that obviously our authors have even more to use for their social media and marketing
Exactly.
and spreading the word. So I'm very excited about it.
It's
We'll
it's a
hopefully be
moment
scheduling more soon.
a moment in time that will always be available for people to watch, to celebrate that author that maybe they'll
Yes.
only recognize and find them about a year later, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
and this is why we're doing this as well, so that people
Mm.
all over can, connect with them and find out who they are, and
Yeah.
from their own words.
Yeah. And on the flip side, I think it gives readers such an amazing opportunity. I know, like, some of my favorite authors, what I would give to be able to jump onto a video call with them and ask them just one question about the books that they've written, that would just
Yeah,
like make my whole year. And to be able to give readers that opportunity as well, I think is quite exciting.
exactly. And we've got some amazing South African indie authors in this country that deserve to be on international stages as well. But
Yes.
until we get the readers to understand the quality that we have, we still have to be fighting every day to get us out there. Yes, and they agree.
Yes. Odin
So
agrees.
that's the wonderful thing about the Local Book Hive and SAR, is that we stand for our South African authors, and we want to make
Yes.
them flourish and be proud of what they're doing and not hiding in the corners and just hoping that
Mm,
somebody might see them.
exactly. Yeah. Be more purposeful about it. And it's working.
Exactly.
We've come across so many readers who are like, what? South African author wrote this, and
Yeah,
it's amazing to see that. So watch this
yeah.
space. We'll be doing more book launches soon, and
Yes.
I think it's going to be fun.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure as always, even though this
Yes.
morning was more about me, which I
Mm.
kind of shy away from. But yes, lots to
No, thank
come.
you.
If you're not
Yes.
following the Local Book Hive, please follow it, or
Yes.
Saya. You're going to get a lot of
Yes.
information. Thank you
For
very
sure.
much. Have a great
All right.
day.
Have a good day. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye.